Hey everyone, welcome back. Psychedelic here. Got 3 LPs to share, plus a single since I last been on here. And hope you guys enjoyed my last video where I talked about the mainstream records. I know I left out a couple big ones you could say off the label, such as Stone Circus and Lincoln Saint Exit. That one in particular I'm not too familiar with. I'm familiar with their single and their post Lincoln Saint Exit band, Exit. I still have to get familiar with that album. I may have heard it, kind of sampled it on YouTube and that was it, but Stone Circus, just not one of my big favorites on mainstream, to be honest. It's a good one, and sure, I'd like to have an original if I found it for cheap, but it's not really something that really pulled me in or anything like that. It's got a couple good tracks, Carnival of Life and Sarah Wells. I actually know somebody named Sarah Wells, so it's kind of funny how that fit in. But yeah, got a great stack here for you today. 2 of these LPs are probably going to be in my top 10 of 2020 as far as my finds go, and that list is looking pretty excellent. I do say so. Very very excited when that day comes to share everything I've gotten this year and put it all together and talk about them. So let's begin. So this one, the first one, I'll show these in the order which I got them. I've been after this one for a long time, probably back in 2016 when I first discovered it, and I would see listings up on eBay, and I actually won a listing of this record one time, but for some reason didn't receive it because whoever the seller was couldn't figure out how to receive my payment through PayPal, and it was just such a hassle. And I was kind of waiting for a month or so and still never returned back. And so kind of the same situation with Silver Apple's Contact that I talked about a few videos back. And then so recently there's been a seller on eBay selling the rest of the stock of this label in particular, and he must have contact with the artist or something, and he's been selling the rest of the original stock copies that are still sealed, and I finally got my hands on one after the 3rd listing. It seems to have no reputation, but people are apparently picking up on it recently. Finally got it on the third or 4th listing of this, and this is Frank Ianni with his album No Moon Night. As you guys saw in my unboxing video, this is the one. This was still sealed when I got it, and luckily no warping or any odd looking dips or anything like that. But yeah, this is something I've been wanting to track down a long time. It's listed in the Acid Archives very briefly, but I found this through, I think, Rate Your Music or maybe a YouTube channel. I can't remember exactly, but one of the tracks I was instantly hooked. The track Sliding Sideways, which opens the album. And it's definitely not an album for everybody. It's kind of got that kind of cosmic, loungy 70s production going for it. Sort of in the AM radio style. Kind of commercial oriented, but it's got also an underground kind of tropical appeal to it. And this guy was based out of Cleveland, Ohio, on Night Wax Records. And I think Frank Ianni is the guy behind this label. There's a few other records on this label. A record called Cletus Black, and there's another one with a Polaroid of a woman on the cover. And the seller on eBay has been listing those as well, but this is definitely the one to have, I think. This came out in 1977. Yeah, it seems like it's got a lot of musicians working behind this record here. Tracks like No Moon Night, the title track's really good. Love is the Style. And the full album is up on YouTube if you guys ever want to check it out. Very singer-songwriter, kind of folk-driven, a lot of acoustic strumming throughout, some synth leads as well. Um, so yeah, very 70s kind of cosmic lounge psych from the Midwest. If you want to track any other tags onto it. So this is very interesting, so I would recommend it if you want to check it out. On a purple label. And the quality of this, the production is very excellent. Looks like one of my light bulbs is going out. Well, we'll keep rolling with it. But yeah, nice label there. It's funny because I actually went to the grocery store before filming this, and I was looking at light bulbs, and I should have grabbed one. Looks like it's just about ready to go out. But yeah, Franchiani, excellent stuff. And I guess the price range that this is kind of going for, according to PopPsych and different eBay listings I've noticed, it's around the 100 mark. So I paid just about 100, but luckily I had some PayPal cash from recent sales, so it all worked out pretty well. This next one I'm even more pumped to share. This is one of probably the top 10 US psych albums I've been trying to track down ever since I've been into the whole genre. And it all started back, you know, I'm often not too jealous about records from the vinyl community, but when I saw Earhead 6, Bo, he first shared this one, and I haven't seen anybody else share this in the community, I don't think. Finally got my hands on this bad boy. Time out, time in for them. This is a grail to me. This is one that I've been just trying to track down ever since I've seen Bo post it, and yeah, probably ever since then. You know, when I started diving deep into US and UK psych in particular, the heavier stuff, you know. And this one does lay a lot of hard rock leanings and lots of fuzz thrown about. Lots of Middle Eastern influences as well. So yeah, the thing with them, you know, I understand the appreciation for fans that love the Van Morrison, rhythm and blues in particular, those kind of styles with their early albums. I used to have them again, which I am selling, but once they threw Van Morrison out with his crappy vocals, they just got substantially better, in my opinion. But it's just my opinion. Yeah, so I'm also needing Now and Them, which, you know, still lingered a little bit in the rhythm and blues, but this one goes full-blown acid rock, and I love it. It's kind of got a West Coast flavor. Seems like a very short album when you first listen to it, and it really is. But all the tracks, you know, it doesn't really pack any weak moments in here. So all around, pretty consistent and pretty good. My favorite tracks, "Bent Over You" is probably my favorite. Surprisingly, the blues track off of here, and it's got, you know, nice blazing harmonica going through it, nice fuzz wah effects, and I love the vocals by Kenny McDowell. It's kind of got a Jack Bruce, you know, kind of a husky voice trying to go push towards that lightweight style in the vocals. I love it. So "Bent Over You," "She Put a Hex on You," "Marketplace," it's got some fuzz, and "Young Woman." Just One Conception takes you places. I mean, all around, this is just top tier US psych in my opinion, and probably the best on Tower label. Arguably, you could throw others in there like Seltzer-Full of Secrets. I would put Piper at the Gates of Dawn maybe above this, but the fact that the US copies on Tower, they really butchered the track listing, so I really can't put that above this as far as the consistency. But those are the two that come to mind, you know, when I'm trying to think of other titles better than this, and it's just hard to top it. It really is. So I'll probably put a intro video to this in the beginning. So, and thankfully I didn't pay up too bad for this. I mean, just a little bit over 100, and the person that sold this to me obviously didn't really grade vinyl records very often, and so I was looking at some of the pictures where they took all the different scuffs and different marks on it, and so I kind of took a gamble on it, and I was a little worried about it, but they accepted returns, and thankfully this plays VG Plus. I'm not even kidding. It's a very strong pressing on tower, so if you're ever skeptical about any scuffs or light marks on this, chances are it's going to play like a beast. So yep, very, very stoked to own this. This is a big want. Definitely going to make the top 10 of this year. The tower label. And it's one of those times I just randomly searched eBay for this particular album, and it didn't pop up on any psych searches, so I'm very, very grateful I took that opportunity just to search it out and score. Gotta show it again because I love that cover art. Alright, so got two more here. I'm going to show the single next. Let's order how I got them. So this was like a blind purchase. I've been kind of looking at this on Discogs, and online it's kind of described as a psychedelic rock single from Omaha. And I just kind of, piqued my interest. It was from Omaha, and it claimed to be a psychedelic rock single. And looking at the titles, you would kind of think, yeah, it must be some kind of psychedelic in some way. And so I saw a listing on eBay, and it was $30, which is still kind of high, but it was the cheapest I've seen for this yet. Copies on eBay are about 45 up to $75, I think. And so the seller offered me 20 on this, and he was in, I think it was Rapid City, South Dakota, so still kind of nearby, lurking around, and picked up this single. So it's on the Woodlark Records label. It's a band called Pilot, and no, not the Oh It's Magic Pilot, with the track For Your Children to See. And the B-side kind of really got me excited to hear this. It's called Wake Up, Look Into Your Mind. Was really anticipating a lot, and I really did have high hopes on this. And you can about tell where this is going to go, right? It was not very good. It was kind of a blind buy, I should say. And so basically, it's kind of, when I first put this on, it sounds very commercial, FM radio, folk rock, I would say, with some piano mixed in. I would say the A-side's pretty good, For Your Children to See. It does have kind of like a flangy fuzz solo in there, which maybe someone took that as psychedelic rock. But unfortunately, the B-side was the one I was hoping to hear, and I could not find clips on YouTube or anywhere. And this one's even weaker than the A-side. So it's not a total loss. I mean, it's a decent single, but it's nothing. So just to forewarn anybody that wants to pick this up if they ever see it, it's pretty decent. Now, if they had an album out, I would definitely take a chance on it and maybe return back to the single. And I would like to hear whatever else they had to offer, but because they are skillful, they're a very talented band, but just not exactly what I'm looking for. So yeah, it's very folk rock based, kind of up-tempo folk rock, a little complex movements here and there, like a progressive pop movements, but nothing too exciting. So happy to know that I've finally listened to it, and yeah. So this next one, I received this in the mail yesterday, and this is one I'm kind of looking at some cheapies lately, and after all that spending, this is an album I just decided to listen to online because I know the band. I didn't have any other albums, and I heard this one was kind of the most, the reception was very good of this record when it came out years later, and it's kind of got a cult following, especially in Greece, of all places, This is New York Rock and Roll Ensemble with their album Reflections. This is a promo copy I decided to pick up. This album goes for, under $10 all day long. And so New York Rock and Roll Ensemble features like future film composers who would later go on to do, big films like Lethal Weapon, and I forget his name. Not sure I'm seeing it here, but yeah, it's got some big film score composers on here, and I can't even pronounce this guy's name. I'm not going to even try, but this is a Greek composer. He's pretty famous in Greece, and he decided to compose all the music for this band, or write it. I can't remember if he wrote it, or I think he partially wrote the tracks, and New York Rock and Roll Ensemble kind of followed his lead. And this is one of the better cheapies I've heard in quite a long time, and one of my best discoveries this year for my taste. So if you're into Baroque pop, this is definitely for you. There's so many good tracks on here. Orpheus, The Day, and some of the drum rhythms are totally sample worthy for any hip hop heads. And my favorite track, Dedication, on side 2, opens up with a nice harpsichord, and love the vocals as well. And I described this online as, if the Mandrake Memorial moved to Greece and they, kind of went in a Baroque pop direction after Puzzle, this would kind of be the result. And to me, some of the vocals remind me of Mandrake Memorial, kind of hazy sounding and kind of whispery, and I'm trying to think of different adjectives besides, it sounds exactly like them, It's just awesome vocals, man. But yeah, this is quite the discovery this year. I'm really happy about this one. Their first album has some good moments in it. They're a very talented band, but I don't know. Some of the arrangements are just not very memorable, or they just don't stick in your head very, very long. And their second album is definitely more hit or miss for me. This one is just consistently excellent, romanticized Baroque pop is how I describe it. It kind of sounds like you're just floating along the river of Greece or something, on a romantic trip to Greece. It's kind of what this sounds like, and I love it. Lots of great string arrangements on here, mandolin, instrumentation on here, harpsichord. It's got it all, and I love the sound that they're going for. So get a shot of the white label promo. Got to put this in a different sleeve, but a very clean copy, and that concludes my vinyl finds. So hope you guys are doing well. I think for my next top 10, I'm actually going to go towards a top 20 list, and I'm going back revisiting records on the Capitol label. Definitely a challenging, it's going to be a challenging list, I would say, because there's a lot of great records on Capitol, and it's one of the biggest, it's one of the most sought after major labels out there. So they had quite an extensive catalog in country and pop and rock, vocal and surf bands. I mean, they covered it all. So going to be exciting to narrow it all down, and yeah, I'm going to go the top 20 route. So I don't know when that video is going to come out, but hopefully at the end of this year sometime. Anyways, till next time, let me know what you think of my finds, and we shall see you soon.